You're listening to the Super League Pod, coming up on episode 157 of your favourite Rugby League podcast. We've got a cup final special for you, a special guest or two join us on the telephone. We've got all your feedback and shout-outs, about 100 select 17s for the opening game of the World Cup. We take a lingering look back at the Challenge Cup final down in Wembley, as well as bringing you our previews and predictions for the return of the Super 8s. And there's a quiz. Well, strap yourselves in, kids. It's time for your podcast, the Super League Pod. Okay, hello everyone and welcome along to this Challenge Cup Final Special Edition, the 157th Super League Pod. Tom, the Bradford fan, here as always, joined by Mark, the Wigan fan. You've not yet made eye contact. Up he comes, and hello Mark, how are you doing?
Well, I'm a bit scratchy after a couple of days on it. So,
I think we're a bit tired now, aren't we?
But, we've got a great show to get through.
What's coming up for us this week?
Well, we've got a load, I think a dozen or so England lineups to go through, and I'll reveal mine after you revealed yours last week, and we'll see if you've changed yours at all. A few controversial selections along the way, for sure. So we'll get through all of those. A little bit of news, but not much, as there tends not to be at this time of the season. We're going to have a great look back at Hull FC's triumph, spoiler alert, in the Challenge Cup final. We'll be joined by Sarah and Joshua for their feelings on the game and the celebrations that they've enjoyed. Grateful for them to quickly join us before they nipped out for other family celebrations tonight. Loads of reviews on that and stats and all the normal stuff you can expect. And then the rest of the results, and we're going to get back into Super 8s mode as well, Tom, with some more predictions.
Yeah, there's a full plethora, there's a full programme of fixtures coming our way, isn't there? Normally we talk about how our weeks have been and what the highlights have been, and I think we will talk about that in more detail, because I think it's a shared, is highlight the right word now? It was a good day out, wasn't it? In general terms, we had a good laugh.
Yeah, Wembley was a good day. I had a good weekend overall. Yeah. We lost We'll get in.
We'll get to the cup final.
Into the game.
But the journey down was a good laugh. We started off on some accidentally quite strong beer.
Yeah, 6.2% ales were dished out at 7:45 in the morning.
Yeah, I think that got us off to a good start.
I've not eaten yet, so it wasn't.
It was 7:45 in the morning, but I didn't realise they were quite that strong.
It wasn't a sharp start for me.
They were good.
I was tipsy by breakfast.
There you go. So that was all right. And look, hanging out around Wembley in the sunshine and meeting all those SLP listeners and
so
catching up with some old pals is great fun, isn't it?
Sarah and her dad John and her son Joshua and her brother Mark, who's recently got on board with us. So it was great to meet all those guys. Al Witts and Gav Spares, the old lads, rocked up. Gav's son was there and a couple of their friends. I was at that point, I was safe to say I was more than tipsy. I was strongly tipsy.
Yes, and
I was having a chat about the future of rugby union and rugby league, because they were more rugby union boys than Al's mates, and sort of suggested that in my head, both games are going to reduce the amount of players at some point.
Right. That was,
my drunk philosophy for the day.
Me and Dom Hodgson joined the dance troupe at one point.
Yes, and then our friend Daniel walked straight through them as they were I called that. So the on-field dance gang were warming up in front of us, weren't they?
Yeah.
At one point, not the Rockettes.
No, some local school children.
Yeah.
You were expecting. So Dom and I auditioned.
Yeah, Dom and his granddad spent quite a bit of time with us. They were great value for the time, especially when Dom's granddad was telling us about the show they'd been to the night before and saying how it was the funniest experience they'd had for some time. When we pointed out that his grandson was a comedian.
Well, I think he still purports to be one.
He is a comedian.
Yeah, he was a kid. He's given up. Now his own granddad doesn't think he's funny. He's probably given up. But the Hodgson boys are just great value all around, really, aren't they?
Yeah, then we missed a few of the other Hull folk, but caught with them on. It felt like we saw them, even though we didn't. The
we were all in touch,
and liners through the messages that were shared back and forth. So that was all great. Quite a few beers, bit of family for me, weren't it?
Yeah,
My cousin Jay we didn't see often and that, and then we went off to our seats, didn't we? And that was the day done. So
yeah, we'll talk about the game in a little while, shall we?
That's right. Yeah.
Okay. So who's been getting in touch with us this week then?
Right, we start with Langers at Langers38, who says, top episode again. If you listen carefully, you can hear sirens in the background as the emergency services head to the Legally Shield party.
There you go, yeah, we do. Well, the thing is, my flat is on kind of a main artery into Rhythm St Anne, so we do get a lot of sirens in and out.
Yeah.
There's only 2 roads in and 2 roads out of town.
We usually just about start the recording just after the motorbikes have done their weekly journey up the main road.
Through the summertime, there's a load of motorcyclists that come in and out of town as well, so yeah, you might hear the odd siren. It's rough round here.
Darts at Mitchell Darts said, great ep lads, mixed bag on the trivia, random look I got the crowds right, not the points scored, but 7 out of 10 on the players.
Stuff.
And on the quiz, Scoot said when she finally got to the end, she scored a not too disappointing 5 out of 12 on the crowd / point scored from the previous Wigan Hall finals, and 9 out of 10 on the player quiz without squad lists in front of her, Tom.
There you go, so that's it, yeah.
Cass in the car on the way down did also achieve 9 out of 10, didn't he, without the squad lists in front of him. Quiz this week, Tom. It's linked to one of the winners of the Challenge Cup final and people who've achieved the similarly rare feat that he achieved this weekend. So
it's Lance Todd Trophy winners.
You might all be thinking it's about Mark Sneyd, but it's another player on the pitch. So that's one for later on.
Okay.
Chris McEwen said at Chris McEwen 80 said,
I thought we settled on this.
Chris McChristmas.
Yeah.
He said, surprise Tom sounds like an excellent idea for a weekly feature, as long as he's not surprised by people getting his pole out.
I'm never surprising people by doing that. That would be wildly illegal. But I can't remember what surprise Tom was. It must have been one of those little flights of fancy we go off on.
That none of us jot down.
Yeah, we need to start making. We need to record this.
Listen back.
Yeah.
You'd think basically the edit is cutting off the bits between us going to get drinks and going for a piss after each sort of segment. So I don't actually listen to any of the other part of the show.
When we record, I fall into a little fantasy world where all our listeners and all our friends are sat behind me and we're just doing it live. So I don't make the disconnect. No. We could all be in the kitchen as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, so Chris, I hope his cricket went better this week. He had a couple of ducks, and then had a 14, he said last week.
14, a gentleman's 20.
Yeah.
Very good. But yeah, you need to just remind us what surprise Tom was.
Alan Walker said, top ep, but I can't believe people didn't get all the facts before they vote, as I'm not eligible to vote. I didn't know. Well, that reminds me that our votes are going to be coming up soon for the end of the season awards. Yeah. So me and you need to start sort of coming up with a short list. But if people want to start making maybe nominations for the team of the year as well, because there's a few positions that I think I'm struggling to come up with 3 or 4 names on that aren't just the cast team. So
I suspect this year's team of the year will be Castleford dominating
massively. So
but let's see. You never know.
Start making some sort of suggestions to us for things to consider for that. I'm also thinking we're going to get rid of Clown of the Year, because there's no point just keep giving Anthony Gelling an award for all the for all the videos he does and stuff like that. So instead, we might have Try of the Year this year, because there's been some amazing contenders, hasn't there?
Yeah, well, we could fish out a short list and post YouTube videos and get people to vote, couldn't we?
You're going to sort out the YouTube video.
I'll look around, see if we can find some videos on YouTube. Okay. See how that goes.
Because I'm stop trying to make me have more work that I'm not good at pulling out.
I'm just giving you ideas. What have we said about this? I'm the ideas man.
Yeah, well, this relationship needs to work.
It worked beautifully from my point of view.
Wakey at Wakey White said, "Hey guys, when buying grand final tickets, do you know if there is any way of predicting what end your team might be in?"
Well, no. I don't know.
The only thing that occurred to me is the last 2 grand finals, so since the new system has been in place, and and I think the one before that as well. The team that was the league leaders have reached the grand final, and they've been in the Stretford end of the ground.
Right, yeah.
So possibly that is... something like, so if you're in that semi-final, maybe you might be in the Stretford end of the ground, but I can't think of all the ones I've been to. It's been a bit of a mix. from memory. So
we've got tickets already. Whereabouts are we sitting?
We're
Are we in an end, or are we like?
No, we're on the side. I think we're in the second tier on the Sir Alex Ferguson stand.
Okay.
Sort of a couple of blocks towards the Stretford end actually, as it happens. If anyone is interested in what block we're in, send us a message and I'll dig out my confirmation email from when I bought them last year.
Yeah.
And
you're sitting in the same block as your favourite podcast pals. There you go.
Finally, Dom Hodgson at the Hodge said, any chance of a mention for the RunDom.Run fundraiser, smile heart?
Of course there is.
Yeah, so if you go to RunDom, RUNDOM.RUN, put that into your internet browser, and then it'll come up with Dom's page that he's created for himself, where you get to not only support him by donating to his chosen charities for all the running he's doing this year. He's definitely stepped up his game again this time around, hasn't he? You also get to vote on what costumes you want to see him do it in.
That's how you get people involved. Interactivity.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the next run he has is, but he has got a Disney run
France
coming up. Yeah. Which to me sounds like just another excuse for Dom to go to Disney.
I don't think he has to make him. I think he just goes when he wants, doesn't he? He's like the Andy Gelling of going to Disney World.
So if you go to rundom.fun and check out what you want Dom to wear next time he runs, throw a little money his way towards his charitable causes and support the SLP family.
There you go. Okay, so England's 17s for Melbourne. We have a hatful of these.
Yeah, let's
people like doing the 17. Should we take it in turns?
Well, we'll go through each one and we'll sort of have a brief chat about each one, but obviously we'll only kind of talk about the surprising decision. So when I've sort of tallied all these up, basically only a couple of people don't have Hardacre at fullback, only a couple of people don't have McGilvery, Hall and your wings, and Percival and Watkins as your centres. Generally people have lent towards Widdop and Gale in your halves. Generally Graham and Hodgson. Then the next prop has been a mixture between Burgess or Taylor, with if it's not Sam Burgess at proppies, then at loose forward for those people. Loose forward is a mixture between Lockers and Sam Burgess. And then second row is predominantly Whitehead and McMeekan, with people like Walmsley, Roby, Tom Burgess, and like Scotty Taylor if he's not, because Sam Burgess had just about a couple more votes, and rounding out. So I think we need to talk around the ones that aren't those sort of decisions. So we start with Don Brodka at TYHR Blue, who has Widdop at fullback, then a backline of Hall, Watkins, Hardacre, McGilvery, Williams and Gale, but he's put Geldon boot winner, Gale. Graham, Hodgson, Sam Burgess, Whitehead, McMeekan, O'Loughlin, with Farrell, Walmsley, Taylor and Roby on his bench. So his bench is fairly straightforward. Biggest call there, I suppose, just to talk about is Widdop for fullback and Hardacre in the centres.
I mean, Hardacre in the centres is less controversial because some great rugby league minds have deployed him there, most recently me. But Widdop at fullback, I haven't seen him play enough at fullback to know whether or not that's a good shout, and I don't know if he plays at fullback enough to then go and do it internationally. No,
I mean, he obviously started occasionally deputising for Billy Slater at fullback, and when he made his breakthrough at Melbourne, he correct me if I'm wrong, but he made his debut for England at fullback. I believe, but this was
really
7 years ago or so now. Are you buying Widdop for fullback?
No,
I don't think
it's not for me.
I'm not sure he's got the same sort of pace and zip he might have wanted.
Not for me. He doesn't have. I think that's a position where you need to retain the skill set by doing it week in, week out, and his positional sense will be skewed. So I don't think it would be something I would do in an international game. That's if he plays the last team with a playoff run. If he, ends up playing there nominally for St George, then maybe so, but no, not for me.
No massively controversial omissions there either, I would suggest, based on what we've had overall. So darts at Mitchell Darts, Zach, Hardacre, Fullback, then McGilvery, Watkins, Percival and Minikin on his wing there. Then Williams and Gale, so another vote for that duo of Super League players. Graham, Roby and Taylor, McMeekan, Farrell and O'Loughlin, with Sam Burgess, Elliot Whitehead, Walmsley and Widdop as sort of a wild card on the bench there. Widdop. So the ones to talk about here are Widdop